you're still here. Wonderful. It's good to see you again. So, as I mentioned last time, we have some things to work out. Wow, it's quite stormy outside right at the moment, which is a rare treat, especially if it involves rain, which so far it does not, just dirt. Anyway, we're going to try something different. I'm not going to try to put these together day by day. They're just I did that before the trip to Taiwan because I just needed to force myself to try to remember to record footage. But having now done that, having learned some lessons, which I will still go over later, I've decided that I'm still going to do these, but I'm going to do them a little bit more judiciously when things happen, or when I think things might happen. And in this case, I think things might happen this weekend because I'm doing a DIY project. Now, I have a sleep number bed, which for those of you who don't know what a sleep number bed is, it's basically an air chamber bed that you can adjust the two sides so that both people have different firmness on their mattress, but it's an ordinary California king size bed. Again, I don't know if that applies overseas, but you know, a California king is a king size bed. That's the largest width bed, but it's longer than the average bed, which I think is a normal bed is 6 foot, and I think a California king is 6'6", which, considering I'm 6'3", you know, I like to have a bed that I don't have my feet hanging off the end of. So we've had this, it's on box springs and then it's on a metal frame, and the metal frame has been damaged, and I wanted to do some work back there the other day, and I realized that I couldn't pull the bed out because it would rip the carpet, so I'm going to have to take the bed apart to get the frame off the floor, and so I had to order a new frame, and I decided that if I'm going to have to go through the whole frame process, that maybe we should get a headboard. We haven't had a headboard in forever. And that's when I found out most headboards stink. They're just pieces of wood. Who cares? I don't need a headboard that's just a piece of wood. I got the wall for that. I don't need useless headboard. I want one that has storage in it. There's maybe a place to put my book, or my medicine, or my bottle of water at night, or charge my phone or my watch, something. But so I've been hunting around and have found one. Not very expensive, not fancy, don't care. I don't show people my bedroom anyway, so you know, it's just a serviceable looking, cheap, flat packed headboard. But that's not good enough for me. No, I'm going to turn it into a DIY project, and here's what I'm going to do. So it's got a shelf that goes down, and I haven't assembled it yet, so you will see me assemble it. That will be part of this process, but I'll just give you an overview of what I'm going to do with it. On the shelf, I'm going to build on either side. I am going to cut in a old work electrical box, and into that we are going to, of course, it's going to be kind of like an extension box. So I've got a pigtail. I used to be an electrician, and we call them pigtails, but it's an electrical cord. And then inside of that, I've got this, which is a Power to You electrical outlet. Now, what's cool about the Power to You electrical outlet, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but we will try, is that is a USB port there, and that is a USB port. So the intent is that I'm going to mount on the shelf of the headboard, because there's dead space down below it, this, and then I will be able to plug in my phone and my watch right there on the headboard without having to snake cables around, and it's gonna be way cool, or a disaster. I don't know which, but I do know enough about electrical to make this, at least, if not code, then it should be safe. Not worried. Let's put it that way. Not for the amount of draw I'm going to put on this thing. So that's what we're going to do this weekend, and I'm just going to keep shooting this throughout the weekend. So by the time you see this should be done. So let's go on. Yeah, see, I got to work on my transitions. All right, so let's see what I'm going to do in my future and your past. Maybe I should do like one of those transitions or something like This is most inconvenient. I've disassembled the existing bed, and I can tell you that that bed has been sitting there unmoved, as well as the end tables, for 8 years, probably. And when I pulled it away, even though I ran the robot underneath it the other day, there's still some stuff under it. There's marks in the carpet and whatnot. So I've been doing some cleanup before I assemble the new bed. And what I discovered was this. Little tiny termite tracks. Not like little termite footprints, but the little buildups of dirt that are termite trails, I guess is the right term for it. Now, we had a small termite problem 5, 6, 7 years ago, and we had the house inspected and treated, and didn't have any termites for quite some time. And then we had another. It's a problem with termites is that, sometimes these trails are in places where you don't see them. They're behind something, or that you don't move, or, I don't know what. And so, a year or so ago, we found another trail, but it was an inactive trail. And so the question was it a live termite trail that was new since the last treatment, or was it left over from before the last treatment? So anyway, we had the house inspected again, and there wasn't any evidence of active, but it was time, and we had it treated again. Anyway, so, we've had it treated not that long ago. Anyway, I found these two, which I've now knocked away, but I found these two small spots along the base behind what would have been the nightstand. Now, that's not, and I, knocked them aside, took a look at them. There were no termites in them. I probably would have dismissed them as being old, and still am inclined to dismiss them as being old. But then, when I was cleaning, I touched the sideboard with the hand vacuum, and it just crumbled. So all the sideboard wood that's near where those termite things, for about 4 foot, is rotten or destroyed by termites. I'm not sure which. It's being held together by the paint. So it's Saturday afternoon. I'm not going to be able to get a termite guy out here. If I'm lucky, I could get them here on Monday, if I could take the time off from work. And they can inspect it and hopefully tell me whether that's old termite damage or new termite damage. Now, the way this house is constructed, that area is brick. The wall is brick. It's brick. The drywall up against the wall is not furred out, so it's right up against the brick. So there's not a lot of wood there for them. Typically, the termites in Arizona and brick houses go for the ceilings where the attics are. But they do come up the interior walls, which are typically hollow, and then work their way back down. In this case, there's no wall for them to go up. So if they got in this wall, the only thing they could really get to is that baseboard. And so it may be that that's just done and gone. I don't know. Anyway, I can't really put the bed back. Well, I can't put the side tables in. I can't really put the bed back, and I can't do the thing. So I think we're going to be sleeping on the sofa for a couple days. But I think I'm going to try to build the headboard anyway, the new one, because I've got this space empty here. And because I have to build it before I can try to build the new electrical outlets into it. So if I can get that done, then when we get the bed straightened out, then I can just put it together and assemble it. So I may not get that I may not get this bed done before this Tedium Unlimited is over. This is the end of this week's Tedium Unlimited. It's a little longer than I wanted. I can see just from my preliminary editing that it's pushing 10 minutes long, so I'll try to make this quick. I have reached a point where I've stopped on the headboard back here, and that's because I screwed it up. I put it together backwards. And so what's happened is I thought I was being careful, and I'm going to say that twice in this podcast. So the first is that these side pieces I've put on backwards. They are interchangeable, and I got the finished side in the back. Fortunately, this top pops off, or should, and then the sides were held on with those cams, so they should come off without being destroyed. So I'm hoping to do that this morning. That's the first part of the battle, and then the second part of the battle is that the headboard is actually 8 inches wider than a California King bed. And so it fits the bed, but it doesn't fit the wall space that we had the bed up against. Because when you add in our end tables, what do you call them? Nightstands. When you add in the nightstands, they are too long. Now the nightstands are fine up against the window that you can see back there, but there's a bedroom closet door that can't be opened if you have the nightstand, the bed, and the nightstand. So we're going to move the bed onto that side of the room, and I am judiciously and perhaps discreetly not showing you what that side of the room looks like because everything's piled up against that side of the room, and a huge dresser, which we hate because it's useless, is over there, and we're going to have to move it, and it weighs 1.5 tons. And you know, there's only so much room in this room, so we're going to have to kind of creep it around the room and creep the bed around the room, and it's not going to be pretty. I think I'll like having the bed over there better. It's a longer wall. There's no window on it, so we'll put the 2 nightstands, and the bed over there will be facing this way, and then we can move that ugly thing temporarily over here, and maybe the exercise bike will have a little more room, and I'll be good. So that's it for this week, and I apologize for the length of this and the fact I didn't actually accomplish what I set out to do, which was to finish this headboard. But tune in next time to find out how badly this goes. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe.